Yeah, skid just a little bit.
God, there's a lot of you.
Do you want to switch spots with me? No.
I mean, we feel very loved, I have to be honest. We're having such a good couple weeks. It feels so nice to be back with all of you and playing music and just love all of you so much. It feels so nice to be in our band. I can't say Sara feels that way. I should only speak for myself. Fine. We got all your questions, so we got the...
Good job.
Yeah, we got the questions. At the first day, we didn't get questions, but we managed just fine. But tonight, we thought we'd start with questions, and then we're gonna play a couple songs. If we don't get through all the questions, we're gonna, I was about to say, we're gonna try, but if we don't get through them, we're gonna put them up on Substack, and we'll answer questions. We really appreciate it. If you're someone who doesn't follow us on our Substack, it'll be free, so you can, it's still the link, and we will try to answer all the questions, but it's such a staple involved, there's quite a number of pages here. I've put a few check marks for ones that felt appropriate for the space and the time, and then I swear we will answer the rest. Okay, go. Okay. You want me to get my phone out and time you? No. I'm like so time management because it's a machine. Okay. I love this question. We've never been asked this question in 23 years. Are you ready for it? From Caitlin, what is your dream guitar? I know, but it's so weird because no one has ever asked us that, and I'm like, I think it's because people think, are you Caitlin?
Yeah, that was the question, yeah.
Okay. Let's get you on the New York Times music journalist list. Okay, you're not going to get through all the questions. Okay. Do you know what? I've been playing a Malcolm Young Gretsch since like 2006. It is my dream guitar. Like I don't need, people are always like, do you want to do like a collab and design your own guitar? And I'm like, why would I do that? I have my dream guitar already. So it's not even that I think it's such an interesting answer that I have to give, but I just love that you even thought to ask. So I hope that satisfies you. I also, we're both playing Stratocasters on this tour, and it's just Stratocasters or Telecasters? Telecasters. We had a Stratocaster when we grew up. That was our first guitar. Neither of us have played this guitar, and this is like one of the most like quintessential guitars on the planet, which is probably why no one asked us because I can't even remember the name. Okay. From Timothy, how much does fan reaction affect your creative process, Tegan? How much does what? Fan reaction. Oh, fan reaction. Well, look, I mean, my dream is a lot like everything that we do. What happened?
She's saying you don't care.
I feel like Tegan needs more of me in her ears. I feel like she's struggling. No, I'm not struggling. I just have my ears out so I can hear them. I've forgotten the question because I got so distracted there. Oh my god, how does fan reaction affect your process? I think I care that you are happy, but I don't always trust that you know what you want. Terrific answer. So I think every time we make a record, we really push ourselves and take risks and kind of borrow a bit from what's done well, but then we try to put new things there. And you might not know you want it, but you'll eventually want it. Like we always joke that like when we put out So Jealous, a lot of people were mad at us and then it became their favorite record. And I just think the best thing you can do for a band is spend a little extra time with an album. Especially if you don't initially get it, spend more time with it. So I'd say your reactions matter to me if they're positive. Okay, so I'm gonna skip past a few people, but I'm gonna call you out just to thank you because these require a little more, probably a little more like a robust answer. Catherine, you wrote about a group of queer kids. I loved everything you wrote about and the question you asked. So I'm gonna do something a little more long form. Daria, you wrote about the song Stars. Thank you so much. I'm not sure that song should really be on the album, but I love that you like it, and maybe one day we will play it.
So good.
Thank you so much. Tiff, these are great questions, and specifically you asked about being able to speak to Billy Corgan and Ani DeFranco, and what was that like to talk to our childhood heroes. Again, we're gonna probably write about that because it was big. But thank you. Lindsay asks, what's your, again, I've never had these questions before, and this is part of why I took time. What is your secret to keeping houseplants alive, and have you considered bringing houseplants on tour? My secret to keeping houseplants alive is picking low-maintenance plants that don't require a lot of love and understanding before you bring it home and kill it.
And don't give it
And
to it.
understanding the environment in which a plant will thrive. And have I ever thought about bringing them on tour? Absolutely not. And I think that's because sometimes people send flowers and we're like, God, that's so nice, but also like, what do you think we're gonna do with a giant vase of flowers on tour? Like, think about it for just a tiny second. Like, are we gonna bring it into the hotel and then take it out of the hotel and bring it to the venue? And like, I think we should get like a road case made for flowers, and it's just the road case gets pulled from venue to venue and room to room. Someone is just their job is to just display the flowers. It's a great question. I like partly it just was comical to imagine me being like, okay, I've got my passport, I've got my clothes for the tour. Which house plant am I gonna bring on this tour? So cute. Okay. Peter, you wrote about something that we get asked about all the time, which is our favorite songs of each other's, and also what it was like to prepare for tour now that I'm a mom. I actually just wrote about that on Substack. Hard, currently going through it. Literally cannot tell you my anxiety level is through the roof because we have so many suitcases. Okay, Kat, I like this. There's a couple of questions in this. I'm not going to answer all your questions, but I thought this was funny. Tegan, what is the dumbest way you've been injured? Oh my God, where do I even begin? I've broken my arm 4 times. Yeah, 3 times. No, twice roller skating. Once I fell off a slide. The 4th time I was just running in the woods and fell. Yeah, I do dumb shit all the time. I have pretty much a chronic elbow injury because the closet in my bedroom, it's not a walk-in closet, but I insist on using it as a walk-in closet because my apartment's all windows, and when I try to change in the bedroom, my partner yells at me that the neighbors can see, and I'm like, who cares? If they're looking, whatever, but so now I'm paranoid, so I change in the closet, but it's too small. I just keep hitting my elbow, and I have pretty sure like a permanent injury now, so I don't know, I'm just like a complete moron. I just do the dumbest shit all the time. Fair enough. Okay, Jess, you actually asked an interesting question that I didn't have an answer to, which was about theme songs, so I'm gonna think more on that and maybe write about that. Okay, Mace, there was some comments, there were some questions. Again, I think these are longer forms, so I'm gonna move past those. Caitlin, you write about role models and queer role models. Again, I think this is going to tie into something larger. We'd like to both write about our experience of getting to talk to our main queer icon growing up, who was Anita Franco. Julia, you write about, or you asked about playing music and being musicians who are too nervous to play in front of people. And I thought this was such an interesting, what advice would we give? And the truth is that we have never had any problem standing in front of people and talking at them and playing music for them. And I don't even know if we're really qualified to answer what one does to get over it, because I would just say, like, get over it, just do it. Just, what do you have to lose? You know, just play. And, you know, our first shows that we played were really successful, and then we've played many shows where people have thrown like nickels in a sock at us, or a beer, or told us that we sound like wicked folk nightmares. You just have to really just push through it. Just don't worry about it, like, you know, YOLO. Ashley, this is a question for Tegan. I mean, you didn't specifically say Tegan, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw it to Tegan. Tegan, now that you're on TikTok, are you invested in TikTok lesbian drama? Yes, of course I am. It's weird. Like, at first I was like, why? And then I was like, oh, this is why, because it's really interesting and funny. Do you regret that you weren't young enough and cool enough to ever be a part of lesbian drama? No. I think we were a part of lesbian drama on like Live Journal or something. Somehow that's fun. Okay, but no, I'm all for it. I just in general, just love lesbian TikTok. Is so funny. I wish more lesbians on TikTok like my content. I'm trying so hard. That's so sad. Poor Tegan. I have to be more dramatic. I have to start fights with other lesbians. I would never do that. Kenneth, you asked about if we would consider writing another memoir documenting our early music career. focused on the years after high school. I think something like that. I don't know if it'll follow the same format as high school, but I think Tegan and I are more interested now in delving into that sort of earlier part of our career. If anyone's interested, there's a great book that came out this year by an amazing writer, Melody Lau, called Modern Heartthrobs, which is a look back kind of at our entire career. Beautifully written and researched, and if you need a Tegan and Sara fix, it's also just an interesting book talking about, you know, journalism and culture and a lot of the stuff that was happening in the early part of our career. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna blow through these last couple ones. Again, if you don't hear your question, it's only because we potentially considered writing about it later. Have you ever lied about a meaning of a song? Yes, because you didn't want to talk about it publicly, of course. We don't tell you guys the truth about anything. This is completely an act. I'm kidding. You don't want to share too much. Gotta protect the people involved. And then there was a question about how do we get into the right. I'll tell you who's not. Lesbians on TikTok. They tell the truth. That's why they're popular. Good call. The second question was how do you get yourself in the right mindset to perform if we're having a shitty day or aren't getting along with each other? It just happens. Second we get on stage, it's like the second the crowd, you guys as a collective start to cheer, it's just like, oh yeah, that's right, this is the whole point, this is the purpose. Our big thing that we pass on to everyone always that we work with is that this might be our 100th show of the year, but this is potentially the only show you'll see of ours. And it's really important that you have a good time. Even if we're not having a good time, you should still have a good time. So, true. Okay, there's a few more questions here. You better remember, there's going to be no songs. Yeah, no, I know. There's a few more questions here, but I'm going to save them for writing in the future. But I do want to just say that these were really thoughtful. I'm not just saying this, but like so often when people are put on the spot and have to ask a question, it's just weird. The same questions happen every single time we do that. And so I'm loving this format. I hope it's okay that we did it this way because I feel like these were so thoughtful and I really appreciate it. And now we're going to play some music for you.